Oh. Well, well, well. What's going on, YouTube? Nostalgia Supply, Corey Owens. That's my name. I don't really have an intro. I don't know if I'll ever really make one. I just like to get on here and talk about things that are important and do things that I enjoy. Lately, I felt the need to bring some things to the attention of some people that have followed me recently. I've been posting comments on Instagram videos that are about like men's mental health, and I see that a lot of men are suffering tremendously with internal thoughts, not necessarily thoughts about like self-deleting, like nothing too traumatic necessarily, but a lot of men are giving up in all the wrong places and are really persistent also in all the wrong places. This isn't a video about giving up and just removing yourself from this life. That's not really what I'm insinuating or what I'm encouraging anybody to do. This is a video about giving up the idea of fitting yourself into today's societal standards, right? Like, we all want a partner. All of us, every last one of us wants a partner, even though people right now are pretending to be like hyper independent and pretending to be okay with it. Everybody wants a partner. Everybody believes that they deserve something great, and I think that that's true. I think everybody does deserve something great, but equally, many people believe that they're entitled to it. And I think if anything should be given up, it's the idea that you're entitled to anything. The world is changing at a pace that nobody can keep up with. And we are so far gone from just kind of this traditional standard of being able to have healthy relationships consistently. And I don't think that we're ever going to get back to that. Some drastic things will have to change in the world before we can ever get back to having a significant amount of healthy relationships. Chances are you have one or two really good close friends, and you maybe have had one or two decent relationships, but they weren't very long lasting relationships. And the ones that were long lasting were probably the most traumatic or resulted in like the worst endings. It's time to give up the idea that you are owed anything. It's time to give up the idea that anybody is going to change, for the sake of a better world. It's about to start raining and thundering, and I'm so excited because I'm a big advocate for like rain and thunderstorms. It's time to give up the idea that someone who hasn't known you for most of your life is capable of loving you unconditionally for who you are and for where you are, for where you're going, for who you want to be, and share your interests and your goals. It's time to give that up. I'm not saying that those people don't exist, but to hold on to it is what's holding you back. And to give that up is what I believe is the one thing that you can do to propel yourself forward in your life right now. And it's not easy. If you just recently went through a breakup and you cried about it and you didn't want that relationship to end, one of the hardest things to do, what's harder than going through the breakup itself and feeling that pain, is letting that person go. Deleting all of their pictures out of your phone, off of your computer if there are any, off of your Facebook and Instagram, not archiving them, but deleting them. It's time to let that person go. The friends that you thought had your best interest in mind, who don't invite you out when they're doing something significant, who only considers you when it benefits them or their agenda or their public perception or their social status, it's time to let them go. You can still support them from a distance. You don't have to remove them from Instagram. I'm talking like same-sex friendships. It's time to let them go. It's time to let go of the idea that if you work harder and persist in some job, career, your business, or in approaching someone of the opposite sex or a love interest, that you are going to be rewarded for that persistence. It's time to let the idea of that go. Next time that you find yourself seriously interested in someone and you pursue them and you give them an opportunity to reciprocate, it's time to let go of the idea that hanging on to that connection after they choose not to reciprocate is going to be in someone's best interest, because it's not. For example, I have someone that I had been talking to for 3, 4, 5 years, like on and off. We never hooked up. We never really went on any dates. We never kissed. We talked about it. Like it was something that was possible because both of us kind of had somebody that we were pursuing outside of each other at the time. She had a guy that she was on and off with. I was in and out of a relationship with someone else. We were both single, but we ended up in the same space consistently. And more recently, she was no longer associated with that guy. I was no longer associated with any girl. And she initiated some outreach asking me like what I had going on upcoming weekend, that she had some time available to hang out. And I went out of my way to make plans for this person and I, only to be left with radio silence and no response leading up to and after the date and time that she said she was available. Maybe she made plans. I don't know. I would be glad if she did make plans, and I would be okay with that. I can go on about my life. If she would have said, hey, I actually ended up making plans. I really wanted to see who was available and someone else responded to me before you did. I would still love to hang out on another day that I'm free. Nothing. I got no response. I got nothing from her. And normally I would take that I did take it personally, but I would take it personally in a way that I was unable to control my actions, my feelings. And I would remain connected to this person in some kind of a way with the expectation that next time we can try it again. But this time, I think I had the balls and the guts and the self-respect to. I didn't respond. I didn't say anything to her because she never reached back out. She never responded to my messages. Instead of asking for an explanation or asking if she had made plans with someone else or, why she didn't get back to me, I just removed her phone number out of my phone. I deleted her off of my Instagram. I removed her as a follower. I deleted her off of Facebook. And I think those are the only places we were connected. I don't have her phone number anymore. I deleted her text messages. I deleted her messages on Facebook. I deleted her messages on Instagram. Because if she ever messages me again, I won't see the history come back up. So I fully just deleted, like hard, cold turkey deleted the messages. And then I removed her as a follower so that she no longer sees my updates. And I didn't feel bad about it. So letting go and like giving up on the hope that you have in other people is something that I think will propel you forward moving into the rest of this year. If you are anything like me, you are highly empathetic. You really care about people. And chances are when you find interest in a person, you're utterly obsessed by default. You don't have like just a small amount of interest in a person. You're completely interested in somebody when you have interest. You're like a light switch. You're either utterly obsessed or completely uninterested. Right? So when I find interest in somebody, I'm willing to shut everybody else off, even if I just met this person, to say, hey, like I will give you all of the attention and time that I have available to give to anybody but now I do that and I follow that up with, if you are also going to reciprocate and be serious about me. Prior, it was, I am going to give you all of my attention and time and prioritize you and put you on a pedestal, regardless of whether or not you reciprocate, as my display of commitment and loyalty. And, until I get tired of this and until I allow myself to feel disrespected, I'm still going to be here for you, waiting for you, and hoping that you're going to reciprocate. It's time to give up on that. Give up on being a hopeless romantic. Give up on the idea that love is an accident, because it's not. It's a choice. And when people choose not to reciprocate or give you the attention, whether you deserve it or not, it is a blatant choice on their part to choose not to entertain you. Meanwhile, they entertain all these people and concepts and groups and communities that A, don't benefit them, B, are exploiting or taking advantage of them, C, are, probably rooted in negativity and cynicism and criticism and judgment and pessimism. It's like, meanwhile, you are the only optimist, and when they engage with you, they show you like some sense of appreciation of like you being a genuinely good person, but it almost turns them off and leaves them uninterested in pursuing a relationship with you. Right? So I'm not saying that you should give up on your hopes and your dreams for yourself, but give up on the idea of convincing anybody that you are worth their time. And give up on the idea of convincing yourself that they are worth yours, because that's what we get in the habit of doing, of convincing ourselves that this person is worth my investment into them or your investment into them. And usually that's not the case at all. They're not. Most people are not worth it. And the people that are the ones that stick around and maybe, don't have the best way of showing you that they care about you, but are manipulating and doing their best to try to keep you in their lives. Maybe there is a way that you can redirect their energy so that you can maintain some sort of a relationship with those people, given you have the expectation of that relationship not going any further than like being a close friends thing. Like, you probably have people in your life who genuinely care about you, but they don't have any boundaries, and they blur the lines between like friendship and intimacy, or like kind of being in your life as a mentor or a parent. They blur the lines between all these different things, but you have those people who care about you in all these different ways, and it's up to you to determine or to kind of guide them into how to use that energy under one of those kind of mediums. It's like, you can't be my best friend and try to be my father or my mother at the same time. You kind of got to pick one, and it's up to you to determine which one of those like offers of generosity you're willing to accept, and try to find a way to communicate that with those people, instead of trying to extract one or more of those offers from people who don't give you the time of day. So it's time for you to give up on the idea of extracting something that will benefit you and add value to your life from someone who doesn't value you or your life. How do you move forward? How do you go into this world knowing that the truth is a hard pill to swallow? There's so much about your immediate life and your immediate circle and the people around you that you have started to realize that have really like turned you off from them. And it makes you want to sit at home alone. It makes you not want to join them out in public spaces. It makes you not want to answer their phone calls or text messages sometimes. And that's okay. You're not obligated, and you shouldn't be obligated to do that. But you're holding on to something that is limiting your ability to just focus solely on yourself, your own happiness, your own satisfaction, and your own progress in your life. You feel like you can't run full speed because you've got something tied to you that's attached to these people that are going nowhere, and it's holding you back. I'm going to answer this FaceTime while I'm live because this is the best part of my day. And I might end the live stream and then come back on here later, but my 4-year-old Zeppelin wants to FaceTime. What's up, Zebby? The Capitol building? You eating popcorn? Oh, man. Focus on what's important to you. Like, if you have children, focus on your priorities. And
Mommy's working.
She's working? What kind of work is she doing? You'll be much happier.